Cyberpunk 2077. This game is like the modern day equivalent of No Man's Sky. It's something that was hyped up and promised everything to players, and it delivered on none of that. And with each passing day, the situation just seems to get worse and worse. And I wasn't going to do a video on this because I have no interest in the game, but since there's so much that keeps happening with this, I decided I wanted to do a video and put my thoughts on this rather quickly. Cyberpunk was announced 8 years ago for some reason. And then CD Projekt Red went into development on The Witcher 3. And Cyberpunk was kind of pushed to the side. And people didn't hear anything about it, to my understanding, until 2017, 2018, something like that. Where you got a full-blown trailer, and I believe that's when the whole Keanu Reeves, you're breathtaking meme kind of came along. That's when I first heard of the game anyway. Cyberpunk isn't anything special. It's not like a groundbreaking game, or even its premise isn't groundbreaking. So the hype, to me personally, I don't understand it, but it was there anyway. People were ecstatic whenever information on this game came out. And of course, consequently to that, people were very disappointed every time the game was delayed. It was delayed again and again and again. It was going to be a 2019 release, and then it was a 2020 release. And it was supposed to come out in November, like around the 20th, I think, and then it got pushed to December. And we were all joking of how it would never come, but then I guess the players forced Projekt Red's hands, because the game came out then a few days ago, December 15th, and it's unfinished. The crux of it all is that the game is basically unfinished. And you know, there's a divide here on this. Some people are saying, you know, what do you expect? You know, they weren't finished the game, but you kept demanding them to release the game. When they did, you're saying it should have been delayed. And then there's people who are saying that it shouldn't have been released in the first place. So it's really got people split down the middle. But that isn't really the issue. To me, the main issue I take with all of this is, first of all, the whole fiasco with the reviews. When early copies were going out to reviewers, and then suddenly Projekt Red was taking down videos, or trying to get people not to show the console versions of the game, or only showing PC, and basically trying to hide all the glitches and bugs that existed in the game. And that was raising a lot of red flags. And then the game came out, and people are discovering more and more by the day that the game is ridiculously bugged and glitched beyond belief. I've seen videos on YouTube of this, and to be honest, it looks like something out of a Gmod animation more than a finished game. It's not what you would expect from a AAA developer, you know? I can't wrap my head around what the hell happened. It's, you know, you hype people up for 8 years, and then you release a game that's unfinished, basically. And then you're promising all these patches, but what good is that? People have already spent their money, they've already played the game, and taste is already in their mouths of it. So you promising an update a month from now isn't much good. And then on top of that, I've heard there is large amounts of crunch going on with employees at Projekt Red over the game. So even still, with all this crunch and all these delays, the whole thing just fell apart behind the scenes. And to top it off, I think the straw that broke the camel's back was the fact that Projekt Red were issuing refunds. They stated that PlayStation and Xbox owners could request a refund, and they give out large amounts of refunds. And then suddenly today, I wake up to see that it's been pulled from the PlayStation Store. And a lot of people are beginning to think now it's going to get pulled from the Xbox Store. And you know, what can I even say about this? This is just really shady. business practice what's going on here, because okay, you're giving money, you're giving refunds back, but at the same time you're trying to sweep it all under the rug by, in a way, trying to act as if the situation never happened. And then there's the fact that they basically admitted the game wasn't finished. They gave out this statement where they were apologizing to people, and they admitted that they didn't show enough footage of like the last gen versions of the game, and that those versions weren't as optimized as the next gen versions. Things currently are, as the game currently is, it's unacceptable, really. I know, I can't really say it because I haven't played the game, and there's people who have played the game that will say it's perfectly fine and they've had no issues with it. But again, you're the extreme minority here. It doesn't really matter, because the vast majority, 43% of people, are having game-breaking issues with the game. There's characters aren't spawning in, they're falling through the map. NPCs are appearing and disappearing, and there's broken animations and all this sort of stuff that just... I really can't fathom my head around how this happened. Issues aside, the actual game itself, the actual functional part of it, if there is anything functional, what I'm hearing about is that it's decent enough. The story is okay, but it's nothing groundbreaking. You know, it's a passable game in terms of the content that's there, but it isn't anything special. And maybe it's just me, but when I look at footage of the game, to me it all feels very claustrophobic. And I'm someone, you know, I'm all for big open world games and all this stuff, and sometimes the city looks nice in certain bits of footage, but then I look at others and everything just feels very cramped. There's so many NPCs, there's so many buildings and bridges and stuff around that everything just feels condensed around one spot too much. Maybe that's just my interpretation of my opinion, but it is something I personally see with the game. But again, it doesn't matter, because I'm not going to be picking up the game anyway. I'm not going to be playing it. It's not something I'm interested in. It's not something I ever intended to get, to be honest. And, you know, given what's going on currently, it's not something I ever probably will get. But at the end of the day, that is the situation we find ourselves in. If they take Cyberpunk 2077 down from Xbox Next, then I think Project Red will be in a very deep hole, because this rabbit hole just keeps going further and further each time this controversy escalates to a whole new level. But those are just my thoughts and a brief summary on the situation. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Have you played Cyberpunk? Were you excited for it? Have you experienced any glitches, any game-breaking stuff? What is your opinion on it? What platform are you playing it on? Because apparently the console versions are more broken than the PC. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. And yeah, with that all said, thank you all for watching, and please subscribe. Novus Corvus out.